my name is Rebecca Urick, and this is my first show, and it's called the High Frequency Channel. And you can catch me on my website at highfrequencychannel.com. I have a Facebook page, highfrequencychannel.com. And I'm going to tell you today a little bit about where I come from and what we're going to do on the show. So about 2 decades ago, I got my first yoga certification and jumped right into meditation, jumped right into oracle card reading and a little bit of creology and cosmology, which is the study of becoming one with the universe. And that was almost 20 years ago. And I have just gobbled up information ever since then. And in the last few years, I decided to move into personal development or spiritual development. And that has actually been my favorite. I feel that all of the information and everything that I've learned in the last 20 years really all came together with the personal development. So while I love doing the readings, and we're going to be doing readings, I love the coaching. I love the development, the spiritual development. That's where my heart is. It is my passion to watch my clients, to watch people take their power back, to stand in their power, to thrive in their life. And I call it full spectrum wealth. So when people think wealth, they think money, right? Well, it's not just in wealth, it's in health, it's in your career, right? It is in money, but it's also in the time that you have with your family and friends, or to go on adventures. And also all of your relationships. So your relationship with yourself, also with your loved ones and your friends. So full spectrum wealth. I love to watch my clients thriving in all areas. So you might find that you have 1 or 2 areas where you're like, yeah, I'm totally good. Like you've got a great career, you're making lots of money, but yet you maybe don't have a great relationship with your spouse or a loved one, or you've got a great job, you love your job, but you're not making enough money, right? So we have these certain areas that we're thriving in, and then areas that we are not so thriving in, right? So what I love to do is help people uncover, we kind of clear out the areas in your life that are not working, and clear up the limiting beliefs that we have. We clear up the patterns, right? So patterns are running even if you don't know they are. Patterns are like, why does this keep happening to me? Or you date the same kind of person over and over again, or you keep getting the same kind of job, or whatever it might be, right? Something that just keeps happening. I know we can all say that we have something that keeps happening in our life, right? That's called a pattern. And it probably was instilled and created anywhere from age 0 to 7. Now, some would say it's 0 to 3. So age 3. So these patterns are running and we don't even know that they're running. So it's kind of like, I'm going to give you an example. Have you ever driven home from work and totally forgot you drove home? Like if you think back and you're like, wow, you're on autopilot, right? And that's the other thing too, is most of us are on autopilot. Our alarm goes off, we grab our cup of coffee, we shower, we get ready, we go to work, we do our work, we come home, we have dinner, we watch TV, and we go to bed, right? So let me ask you a question. Some people live 90 years. Some people live 1 year 90 times. Which one are you? Okay, so what I would love to do with you in this program is uncover the things that are not necessarily the most comfortable things to uncover, but they are so important and vital in being able to bring more love and more connection and more belonging and worthiness into your life, right? So right now, as you know, that's a big buzz that Mother Earth is transitioning. We are moving into an area, into a new era of light, where there's more light shining on the planet than ever before, and all the darkness is being turned into light, right? Lightness, light does not know darkness, but darkness knows light because it turns it into light, right? So everything is turning into light. All the lies, you're seeing all these things being uncovered in mainstream media in your life, right? So that's part of it, is digging down deep into our subconscious, which is where all of those patterns, all of those the old human story sits, right? Which is, you know, the unworthiness, the I'm not good enough, the rejection, the disappointment, the abandonment, all of those core wounds, right? I love helping my clients uncover these core wounds and shine the light on them. And when the light shines on them, they really don't have as much of an effect anymore. And it's the most beautiful thing. And then what happens is the confidence, the self-confidence, your nervous system starts to calm down. You take a breath, you slow down. You don't feel like you have to push to make things happen. You get into the flow, into natural law of life. And that life force that's within you, right? So when you think for a second, actually, let's take a moment right now to take a deep breath. Let's just all take a deep breath in and just be grateful for this breath. Right? You don't have to think about your breath. You don't have to think about your heart beating. Let's take another breath. You don't have to worry about digesting your food. Can you imagine if we had to do all that plus do everything that we're already doing as well, right? We would probably just be sitting around. It wouldn't work. So that life force that is animating your body, that is beating your heart, is always seeking greater expression through you as you. So your unique qualities, your quirkiness, your weirdness are the exact things that you should be shining out into the world. But what happens is we have been programmed to tune that down, to tone it down, so that you will not shine. You will stay in a line. You know, raise your hand. Don't get out of line. Don't do anything, right? We've been trained. So I have a little story for you. Back in the day when we used to use cows to farm, as help on the farm, in India, they would use elephants. And a farmer would get a baby elephant and they would attach, it's kind of a sad story, but they would attach a big chain around its leg and then stake it into the ground. And basically the stake in the ground was much stronger than the baby elephant. But the baby elephant would pull and tug with all of its might. And as it got older and older, it recognized that it wouldn't be able to win over the tug, over the stake in the ground. Okay. So as the elephant got older and bigger, so, you know, I'm getting messages. This is all new for me. The farmer could back off and not use like a big chain, right? And could ultimately use a little river reed to control the elephant. Now, a 2,000-pound elephant could easily walk away and there would be nothing that farmer could do, right? But it was trained, it was programmed that at any tug, it would know instinctually at that point that it could not win against the tug, right? And we have a lot, we are the same. We have a lot of river reed thinking. We have been trained, you know, from a little kid, you know, no, you can't do that. Sit and eat your dinner. Raise your hand and stay in a line, right? We have all these things that program us to not be creative, to look into other people's eyes for approval and opinions, to doubt ourselves. We learn that internal voice of doubt, and until we just really are stuck. And for me, right now, humanity is at a standstill, and we need to start moving again. We need to start tapping back into our creative minds and tapping into our superhuman power and working with the laws of the universe to flow fluidly in our life. And so that's what I love to work on with my clients, because then they make all the decisions themselves. I give them back their power. So let me just say, if you are at all thinking that you would ever like to work with me or are being called to even just talk to me about my coaching programs. I do readings, but I really love the coaching more. And if you are thinking that you would like to just see if we would be a good fit to work together, please feel free to go to my website at highfrequencychannel.com and book yourself a free breakthrough call. It's about 30 minutes. We'll see what happens. I don't beg you. I don't plead with you. I really don't even sell you. You're either a fit or you're not. You're ready or you're not. It's easy, simple. You might as well. So please, by all means, and reach out to me in my Facebook page, the High Frequency Channel on Facebook. I would love to hear from you and answer some questions if you'd like. So like I said, what I would love to do with this show is I would love to talk about the things that maybe aren't as comfortable and help us through, help you through, you know, things like fear and failure and forgiveness, right? Or so that we can have compassion, connection, and more love in our life, right? I have a little list of things. Well, I want to talk about triggers, the things that trigger us. I want to talk about why we blame other people for things and how we can stop blaming. Because the triggers that we have are actually our triggers, but almost immediately, next time, notice this: when you're triggered by something, that you automatically blame the other person and go, no, it's your fault, right? So we're going to uncover that stuff, because when we do that, what ultimately happens, and what is so fun and so amazing, is that you start to shine. Your self-confidence rises to the surface, and your unique quirkiness, your creativity comes back, your ingenious ideas come forward, and then your whole life begins to thrive. You have full spectrum wealth, right? So we're going to be doing readings. We're going to give you homework. I'm going to have guest speakers, and I want you to call in with your problems. I'm going to do emails. I want you to know that I am an evocative coach, which literally means to call out. So I might interrupt you and say, let's pause there, because sometimes we say a lot, and there's a lot behind the meaning of what we just said that I would love to uncover with you, so that you can see what's going on in your life. We can see the patterns. Okay. So are we ready to go to a caller? Great. Do we have Heather in Mississippi? Are you there?
Yes.
Hi, Heather.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good. My sister's name is Heather, so I feel like my first caller is That's so cool. How are you?
I'm
Tell me
doing
what's going
okay.
on.
So I'm 20 weeks pregnant,
Well,
and
congratulations.
yeah, I have a high risk pregnancy, so it's a little scary, but I'm doing fine.
That's good. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that.
I'm I'm not really sure what to say. I have really bad anxiety, so I don't. So I'm a little bit nervous.
Okay. Don't worry. So am I. This is my first show, so I'm
Mhm.
right there with you. We can be nervous together. So, do you want to talk about your anxiety?
Um,
Do you need help with that?
I really don't know what to say. Um,
Okay.
um, I have pretty severe anxiety in general and social anxiety, as well as bipolar type 2 disorder. So dealing with this pregnancy and my mental illnesses is can sometimes be very hard.
Sure, I can imagine. Now, are you, let me, and feel free if this is too much information to, air online. Are you on medication? Are you allowed to be on medication during your pregnancy?
I was on more medication. I'm currently coming off of weaning off of my anxiety medication. So I'll be off of it before my baby is born.
Okay.
But yes, I have been on medication.
So there's that added extra stress of going off the medication, which probably
Yes,
adds to your anxiety, right?
yes, as well as I'm a recovering addict. So I
Okay.
have problem after problem.
Okay. So let me ask you, what do you do for self-care? Like, do you meditate, or do you take baths or walk in nature, or are you bedridden, or are you in bed rest?
No, not really. Honestly, I'm not doing much of nothing for myself these days. I have a 4-year-old little boy, so I basically just take it day by day and take care of him the best of my ability and try to get by each day through this pregnancy and coming off my medication and dealing with that as well as um, staying sober. Obviously, even if I
Yeah.
wasn't pregnant, that's always
So
very
is
hard
there
sometimes.
is there anything that you could do? Just a couple of thoughts come to my mind because this is a lot. This is definitely, this is a lot. Um, and I can see why I hear you, being stressed out and your anxiety, being a little bit more than what it would normally be. Is there anything that you and your 4-year-old son, what's his name?
Sorry, can you say that again?
What is your son's name?
Carter.
Carter. Is there
Hmm.
anything that you and Carter could do that would be fun? Like, when you're from Mississippi, so the weather, is it kind of nice?
It's day to day. You never know what the weather will be here. Sometimes it's nice outside, feels great. Sometimes the next day it may be freezing cold. The next day it may be thunderstorms. You never know what to expect in Mississippi.
What I want to do with you right now is you and I are going to come up with some things that you are going to do that are going to be fun that you and Carter can go do. Because what I want you to do, and then we're going to move into something else. But first, I want to come up with a list of things that I also want you to continue this list after we get off the phone. But what are some fun things to take your mind off of everything that seem more relaxing? What are a few things that you guys could do? Like the first thing that came to my mind was going to the zoo.
Yeah, so we do things like that. This past weekend, we have a place called Red Bluff. A lot of people travel to Mississippi just to see it. It's kind of like a mini Grand Canyon. This past weekend, we went there and we climbed down the trail. I'm still feeling the pain 3 days later, but getting out in nature and being outdoors is it helps with my anxiety, and it's fun for my son, and seeing him have fun and enjoying himself helps me as well.
Yeah, I can feel already that your frequency is rising. I can, that makes, even just talking about it makes you feel a little bit better. So I highly recommend that you do that as much as you can. I'm trying to think, another thing that popped in my mind, do you have a tree on your property?
Many.
You have many?
Yeah.
Is there one that maybe particularly stands out to you?
No, they're pretty much all the same pine trees.
Okay. Well, I have a tree outside that I like. I know this may sound really weird, but I talk to it. When I'm feeling, we have to understand that the trees are here to take away, to help us cope with, stress and strain. And they are conscious beings. Like Mother Earth is a conscious being. These trees are conscious beings. So if you put your hands on the tree and ask the tree if the tree would take away your stress, for me, it's almost immediate now, where it goes away, and then I can feel my heart open. Would that be something you would do?
I mean, it would be something I would try.
Okay. Yeah, I would love for you to try that. And I want you to remember that sometimes it's not just going to happen the first time. And sometimes the first time I did it, I was like, okay, whatever. I'm like, take away my pain, take away my stress right now. I just took a couple breaths and, whatever. And then, thank you. And then I didn't really feel a change. And I went back inside and I started doing stuff. And all of a sudden, wasn't for like another hour later that I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so good. So it may not be right in that moment, but also I want you to do it on a regular basis. Yes, your neighbors might think you're weird, but you can do it with your son. Talk to your son about doing it too. And, kids, they love this stuff. They're so connected. They're still so connected when they're young like that. They'll be like, is that our tree, Mom? Let's go talk to the tree. And he might even be like, Mom, I want to go talk to the tree, because they just instinctually know that it works. So will you please do that for me?
Yes.
Will you do it for you?
Yes.
Okay, good. And then go on to my station on my my Facebook page. When you do that, go and let me know how it is, okay? I would really love to hear what happens. This could be something that that you do throughout your pregnancy to help you with your anxiety. Then the next thing I want to do is quickly, because I know we don't have a lot of time left, is I want you to share with me like one or two things. Like I want you to, if you were guaranteed success, okay, and success in everything that you're working on right now, what would this pregnancy look like? We have 2 minutes left, so I'm going to give you 1 minute. Let's name let's share with me the vision. What does it look like if this was a perfect pregnancy? What would that look like to you? Describe that snapshot, that image that you have in your mind.
I guess it would probably be similar to my pregnancy with my son. I was
Awesome.
I dealt with depression prior to getting pregnant with my son, but once I got pregnant, I was no longer depressed, no longer had anxiety. I was happy. I had something to look forward to.
Good.
And
okay, so what I want you to do, because we only have like a few seconds left. What I want you to do is I want you to spend time on a daily basis remembering and reminiscing and calling in that feeling that you had when you were pregnant with your first son, and call that in, because when you can tap into the energy, the higher frequency energy, and stay there, it's going to help you with your anxiety, and it's going to help you throughout the rest of your pregnancy. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And keep in touch with me on the page, would you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. Heather, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you sharing your story with me. And like I said, go to High Frequency Channel on Facebook and share with me your results. And I'm Rebecca Urick with the High Frequency Channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on. I will see you next week, and we'll just have some fun. That's what I want to do, is have fun. I want to grow and give you your power back.